Variolite is a tool built as a package for the open source Atom editor. Variolite allows you to use local versioning with any size snippet of code. Here we have Variolite open. I'm going to select some code and click Wrap Invariant. This is going to allow me to create a new branch of this match string function. Add a new branch and replace this code with a different implementation. And I'm going to rename this one Fuzzy Match. By flipping through the tabs, I can see both versions of matchstring are still there. And I can run the second one by simply giving it a string to match over in the terminal, which is part of Variolite. I run this code, and if I switch back to the first version, I can just as easily run that again. By clicking away from the variant box, the colors become a little more discrete, which allows for better code readability. Variolite stores not only branches of your code, but also history. If we go over to click the output menu and click a given output, we can revisit the exact code that generated it. Here we see the code has turned orange and switched back to the fuzzy match version that generated this code. If we click on the other output, it takes us to version 0 and version 0 that generated this code. This allows us to revisit output generated a very long time ago as it's saved with the rest of Variolite's metadata. However, as we're doing a project, we're probably going to produce a lot of outputs. So we'd like a way of identifying those that are interesting. We're able to tag outputs by right-clicking them and giving it a tag, and we can also travel to the code that generated it. We're going to call this one Hello World, and then continue working on our code. You may have noticed these buttons. On the local variants within the editor, there's a comment symbol that just allows you to comment and uncomment the chunk of code. The branch button opens up a branch map, which shows you the different versions of your inside of your variant box. This is handy if you close out one of the versions, or lots of them. You'll be able to reopen them using the branch map. We can close that by clicking the branch symbol a second time. Now we've changed version 0 quite a bit, and to go back to earlier versions to backtrack or whatever, we can use the clock symbol to open up a commit timeline. This allows us to backtrack scroll to earlier commits in a similar way that double-clicking the output allows us to return to earlier versions. We can scroll back to return to earlier versions, and scroll forward to return back to our present code. Using the menu, we can add a new branch, archive a branch, or dissolve the whole variant box to return it to flat code.